Would you be happy to almost share the best piece of advice you ever had?
I got these in advance, so I had a little bit of a thought about it. And I think the best piece of advice is, it's a kind of card game analogy, to always underplay your hand.
Okay.
Never overplay. People talk about humble leadership, or, not alpha male, but beta male leadership. And I think it's always better to try and not oversell,
mm-hmm.
and not to push things, but to let things emerge. I also got a very good piece of advice, because you can think there's a whole world of problems and challenges, and that as an entrepreneur, a leader, you can feel quite lonely in all of that. And it is to give yourself a pat on the back.
Mm-hmm.
If you've had a great day and you've achieved something big that you thought was going to take a bunch of time, you finish it by lunchtime, take the day off. You acknowledge where your success has been in that piece of the journey, and get out there and do some other stuff.
No, I think it's very cool. And it's something that I am guilty of this, that I'm on to the next thing. I'm on to my list of tasks across multiple businesses is never ending. And I'm 39 now, so almost at the same age you were when you talked about it earlier. And it's that hunger to want to deliver, but then likewise take a day off every so often. I think it's really good advice, because most people kind of don't. The next question that I love to ask, if you were to pick yourself at a younger age, it could be at school, it could be any point in your career, almost to, if you could travel back in time and give yourself some advice, what would it be?
So when you're at the challenge with entrepreneurs is that when it's going really well, you don't want to sell out. And when it's going really badly, you go, oh, I wish I could sack this and do something else. And I suppose, apropos, sort of similar to backing, patting yourself on the back when you realize and you mark that you've achieved something. I think it would have been good to kind of bank some of the gains along
mm-hmm.
the way.
Mm-hmm.
As a chess player, I used to be very good on attack, and then get checkmated all the time because I didn't have any defense.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think it's always good to think about that. Maybe that's the older person, because you want the energy of youth to keep going. I'm indestructible, and I'll just keep going. But maybe I would have done better if I'd kind of, for me as well, I think it's helpful to sort of sell something and move on,
mm-hmm.
Don't keep the same stock,
mm-hmm.
get that, run through the tills.
I've got you. Just before we wrap up, I have two things. The first one, what's the dream? You've had such a varied career. You've done loads of really kind of great stuff in different sectors, and, helping to build whole communities in terms of tech, and you have the property and you have everything else. Fast forward 5-10 years, however long you wish. What's the dream? What makes Charlie Hoult excited? What makes you still want to work?
Well, I realize that I can't do everything, and I can't set up a business a week, even though I always have ideas. I go, that would be a great business. So I've got, and you've got to make bigger bets rather than start something small. And, but I have 4 sons who are all leaving school and then going to uni. And one of the dreams, I'm sure they'll never want to work with me, but is like to create some kind of conglomerate
mm-hmm.
where we're all connected, but we all have our own independence.
Mm-hmm.
And the Scandinavians do this really well. And, there's always Rothschild's bank, set up where the father Rothschild sent his 4 sons to England, France, Germany, Italy to set up branches of the bank that did different things. It would be nice to set up, that's kind of dynastic thought, isn't it? To set up something where everyone's happy to work together in a great business. And so, that something like that might be an interesting business. Cool. I've always wanted a finance business that's like on direct debit. Everyone's just, and you're absolutely rinsing the money. But it gives you a platform to do stuff. Yeah. So, it's that it gets me going to prove you can do these things, and it creates some money that you can then use. I've enjoyed a bit of philanthropy to give money away to try and target some of these things in the social problems that we have in any region, and to get involved with fixing society. So there's like entrepreneurs, you want to make money, but you also want to make history.